We're not perfect, but we're founded on the pursuit of a more perfect union. That is what makes America great. And I think that's what Republicans need to stop being so shy about and start actually celebrating and wearing on our sleeve.
All right, so this one right here, this first one right here is from Vivek Ramaswamy. All right, that could be replaced by Carrie Lake. There's another lady too who's beautiful lady that they're saying could potentially be the VP candidate for Trump. Maybe not. Let's hear this out. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know.
To normalize this. You see the New York Times column say, well, the Trump people have a case. You see the head of J.P. Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the United States, saying, well, they're right about some things. There is a chance that Trump could win this election. And the way that he wins is he's treated as a normal candidate.
Of course, if Trump was as wacky as they say, they would want him on TV as often as possible, right? And then there was this moment when Vivek Ramaswamy threw down with Charlamagne the God this morning.
Trump will say something. They will pick one word he says and then actually have you respond to it. Talk about the actual substance, about what we need to address.
It's hard to when you got a guy who says he wants to be a dictator for a day. It's hard when it's a guy who says it's hard when it's a guy who says you got to terminate the Constitution in order to overturn the results of an election. It's hard when it's a guy who's led an attempted coup in this country. No.
The derangement syndrome.
Charlamagne seems like he's traumatized.
Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy joins us now. I thoroughly enjoyed your exchange. He's kind of a fun guy. I mean, he brings on people who disagree with him. So I respect Charlamagne.
Now, I here's the thing. I respect Charlamagne the God. I do. I think he's doing an amazing job on his channel. I mean, on everything he's doing at the moment. He's doing a remarkable job for his audience. Here's the thing y'all need to understand, right, wrong, or indifferent. He's giving his audience what they want. His audience feel the way that he feel, and he's the loudest one in the room to tell us what they feel. Although Vivek Ramaswamy is giving them a different perspective and understanding that if they were to shut the hell up and listen, then they would get it. But unfortunately, that's not Charlamagne's God to shut the hell up and listen. His job is to be the voice of the people that he represent. And the voice of the people that he represent, they don't want to hear about no Trump. They can care less. As a matter of fact, we don't care how bad Biden has been to us. As a matter of fact, we don't even know what he's doing, and we don't care. Because Trump just as bad. Trump just as bad. Now, they don't need anything to go off of. The only thing they need is feelings and their own thoughts and rumor and I don't know. They just need to band together and hate. You know what I mean? That's just how they go. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach.
A lot of left-wing people won't do that, but they still don't really get why millions and millions of Americans like Trump, do they? They don't understand it.
I'd like to think I made some progress. We were supposed to go for 45 minutes. We went for an hour and a half. And one of the things I had him do, Laura, was he said, Trump is quoting Hitler.
What's up, Big
and
Blue?
he couldn't get off of that. So I said, let's pull up the exact quote of what Donald Trump exactly said.
Oh, no.
Because I know Donald Trump, and he's not a guy who quotes Adolf Hitler. Turns out it was just a basic statement of a border crisis that we have, and it happens to coincide with things that a bunch of other people have said through human history. And I think that did change their mind a little bit, because they hadn't even known what Donald Trump's quote was. They just know what MSNBC says that it was.
And that's the problem. They don't know what the quote was. They just know what MSNBC said it was. That's how I used to get my news. If MSNBC, if Rachel Longneck Meadows said it, or if Joe Scarborough and his wife said it, then I thought that it was it. If Don Lemon said it, I thought it was it. If Joy Reid said it, I thought that was it. That's okay. It must be so. I ain't got to look into it. Obviously, that went over from MSNBC to CNN, but it's the same thing. It's like, hold on, whoa. Don't do your own research. We're going to tell you how it is. All right, sit back, relax. It's going to be a bumpy ride, okay? But at the end of the day, when he sat down and he broke it down to them, now it's their responsibility to disseminate that information to their communities. Will they do that, though? I doubt it. Extremely doubtful.
And I think this is our path to winning in November in a landslide, Laura. Stick to the truth. Cut through those left-wing media narratives and get to the actual facts. Free speech is the American way. Let every people hear the best argument from every candidate and make the right choice at the ballot box. And that's exactly what these people want to prevent from happening. But the more we're committed, actually our side is committed to free speech, the more likely we are to deliver a landslide. And I think that's what's coming this November.
Okay, just for fun, I want to play another clip from this interview. Now, you made a salient point, I think, about American sentiment toward
Heather is a
our
boss.
founding father.
Thank you, Heather. I saw that. You just bust up in the building showing love. I really appreciate you. I was just not thinking about you today. I was like, man, is Heather mad at me? I haven't heard from Heather in a while.
Others. This was great. Watch.
John Adams, you know who his son is? John Quincy Adams. You know what he went back to Congress with? Was one thing he regretted not doing as a president. Was abolishing slavery.
But you can't tell people just to ignore the fact that Thomas Jefferson
I'm
was a
not
slave owner.
telling people to ignore it, to say that we're not going to listen to Thomas Jefferson or that our founding was illegitimate because they were deeply imperfect and flawed is every bit as bad as somebody who's going to say that I'm going to entirely dismiss the fact that they were slave owners.
First of all, Vivek, nice looking in the black T-shirt. Okay, that was very cool to be on with him for that.
He got that from me. He look at my videos all the time. I'm in my black, and he said, you know what? I'm going to kill him next time in the black. I see you, Vivek. I see you, brother. Nah, but for real, I love how Charlamagne the God says, but we can't just ignore the fact. Well, we ignore the facts all the time when it comes to somebody that we're told to ignore the facts from. When it comes to Joe Biden, we ignore the facts. I'm talking about black people. We ignore the hell out of the facts. When it comes to Democrats, we ignore the hell out of the facts. We can care less. Are they helping us? Are they paying for something? Are they going to do something? Are they going to let us do what we want to do? Then we like them. We like them. That's the fun parent. The fun parent lets you do what you want to do. The fun parent do not hold you accountable. The fun parent give you money and just send you on your way. The fun parent don't try to talk you out of doing something that's against God's word. That's the fun parent. And black people have this thing where we are so locked in with Democrats. We want the fun parent to be our guide, no matter how much hell breaks loose. We can care less. And that's the problem. At some point, there has to be an adult in the room. And unfortunately, black people, I have to say this, conservatism is the adult in the room. It is someone who's trying to get you to be responsible, someone that's trying to stress nuclear family, the nuclear household. But at the same time, they're not even trying to tell you what to do. They're trying to tell you that that you have rights and you have opportunities out there to do whatever you want to do as long as you're paying attention. So why do we demonize the side that's operated by the word of God and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights? Like, rules. Do we really have something against rules? The fun parent has been ruining the country for the last, 20 years, 30 years. The fun parent just lets us, hey, get loose, baby. Hey, we're not going to judge you when you go out there and commit crimes. Matter of fact, when you commit crimes, you're going to have more protection than the people you committed crimes against. That's happening today. If somebody was coming to my house right now and I was to shoot them in their ass twice, I could potentially go to jail for shooting them in their ass and not in their chest. Why did you shoot him when he was walking away? Why did you shoot him when he was running away? He was no longer a threat. So you shouldn't have shot him. You're going to jail. As the homeowner that was doing things the right way the entire time, the homeowner that's protecting his family, the homeowner that shot him with a licensed firearm. All because the fun parent wants you just, hey, vote for me and I'll pay for your college, even though we can't afford it. Vote for me and I'll go ahead and fund this war, even though we can't afford it. It's absolutely no accountability whatsoever. And we vote for it time and time again. What does that say about us?
But why do you think why do you think some Republicans seem to have such difficulty
Thank you, Heather.
with the American past and history? They get very scared when they're talking about people like Thomas Jefferson.
See, look, I'm open about the fact that Thomas Jefferson was my favorite president. He signed the Declaration of Independence, Laura, at the age of 33, while also actually inventing the swivel chair. Think about that. These people.
Oh, that's Jesus' birthday, and I'm swiveling. He signed it on Jesus' birthday, and I'm swiveling. All right, I gotta look into this president.
People were inventors. They were intellectuals, and yes, they were also our founding leaders. Were they imperfect? Of course they were, in the same way that you and I and every American and every person today is too. And the very people who are decrying our founding fathers for being the slaveholders, following the written lines you're supposed to recite, Republicans and Democrats alike,
Rob,
they're the very people who would have been the slaveholders 250 years ago. And so our founding fathers, they were not the conformists. They were the pioneers. They were the explorers. And what I want to revive is that founding spirit, not by claiming that they were perfect, but by recognizing their imperfections. They were still committed to the pursuit of a more perfect union. And that's what we are as a country. We're not perfect, but we're founded on the pursuit of a more perfect union. That is what makes America great. And I think that's what Republicans need to stop being so shy about and start actually celebrating and wearing on our sleeve.
I think Vivek, hopefully he decides to take the proper job in the next administration, the proper job. I don't care about the flashy job, the fancy job, the one that'll make him and his career better. I don't care about none of that. His career don't need to be better. He's already extremely wealthy. His career is going to be better no matter what, as long as he continues to do what he's doing. But hopefully they place him properly where he needs to be so he can be effective with his gifts and what he brings to the table. This young man is on fire. I love the fact that he's out and about and always talking to whoever wants to have these conversations. He went over to Breakfast Club by himself after dropping out, after supporting Trump and being at all of his rallies and sitting in front of, do you understand what that means? There's a bunch of people that will not do that. They will be afraid of that smoke. This brother did it, man. He's a soldier for real. So I'm really, 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 really hoping that they place him in a proper position, cabinet, something, because he has something to bring to the table.
If you ever get a chance to debate or talk to like Kamala Harris, and Biden's not going to be debating, I don't think anyone, but it'd be good just to say, why shouldn't George Washington be banned? If you're going to take all these other names off, all these statues down, why should Washington still be around as any figure we revere, given his slave-holding past?
I'll file that away, Laura, and I'm looking forward to hearing Kamala's answer. I don't expect it to be super coherent, but I'll be sure to face off with her on it.
All right, but she'll repeat the same phrase over and over again. All right, Vivek.
Shots fired. He said he don't expect for it to be super coherent. Nobody expects for any of her thoughts to be super coherent because it's her. She's just not a public speaking type of person. She's not I'm not going to say she's not the brightest. And the reason why I won't say that she's not the brightest is because she has a law degree. And I know a lot of you guys look at that as like anybody could get a law degree. Not me. I can't even get a daggone mass communications degree. I can't even get a business degree. I tried. I can if I put the work in and I put the time in. I do believe that I'm smart enough to do it if I want to. But I don't think just anybody could get a law degree. I do think that not just anybody should be able to run this country. And the fact that they picked her based off of her potential color, because they say she's black, but come on. She's lighter than most black people I know. And they say, oh, she's African-American. And they was using that on the ticket to sell Joe Biden to the black community, and it worked. And they're trying to do it again. And they're saying that in July, is going to be like a cutoff point. July, they're thinking about boldly replacing Joe Biden with Michelle Obama to run in his place, in his stead. So that's going to be wild. And because they're doing nothing but calculations, they're looking at who's popular enough. Because that's what it's all about when it comes to Democrats. Who's popular? Popularity contest. We need somebody who's popular, can win votes, can win. What about after they win? What about managing the country after they win? We need somebody that's capable. I don't give a damn how smart you are or who you've been smashing for the last 20 years. If your husband was the president for 2 terms, it does not mean that you can be a president yourself. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It does not. But it would be beautiful to see a black woman run the country. I get that. It would be beautiful. It would be lovely to see a black woman run the country because it's never happened before. It breaks a glass ceiling. Okay, so now we're over the emotional part. What about the actual logistics of it all? Running the country. See, we need to go back to being the head of the household. Who's supposed to be the head of the household? We've gotten away from that. Who's supposed to be the head of the church? We've gotten away from that. Who's supposed to be the head of the country? We're getting away from that. At this point, man, it's wild, wild west. And it's like we want this. We're facing extinction right now. We're not moving in the right direction. If y'all understand what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm putting down. We're not moving in the right direction. We're facing. Okay. All right, let me just be quiet, man, before I start sounding like a conspiracy theorist. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist.